someone over there in the room doing some moves. You know, gotta stay awake, gotta keep that blood flowing.
Yeah, it's good. Get up between the games, do a bit of dancing.
Yeah, make sure that you're staying hydrated. Also very, very important. Make sure you've had some water there, Waga.
Yeah, certainly important between the games. I mean, you have to stay sharp. I mean, Wildcard, this is the 4th game in a row that they play. They finally got themselves a W there, but that game 1 against VP here, honestly, well, it started out really good and it ended even better. Everything in between, they were getting pretty spanked by VP, so they need to get on top of their game and try to secure 2-0 here. Even getting a draw, though, would be pretty good against VP, but due to the result of 2-0 to Xtreme Gaming earlier, it would feel amazing for Wildcard to take a win here against Virtus.pro.
I mean, that was something we talked about earlier, how we were very concerned that Wildcard, you know, you don't want to start off the qualifiers with 2 games where you went 0-2, but they've proven that, you know, they can take a game here off of VP. You know, a little part of that, not gonna lie, it felt like VP made a bunch of mistakes. That, you know, wasn't necessarily that Wildcard outplayed them, and it felt more like VP were fighting themselves at a couple points in the game. But, you know, hey, a victory is a victory, and, you know, that's a good not warm up, but like it's good for morale, right? You just had one series where you're up against one of the top teams here in the last chance qualifiers. You know, you tried to hold your own. It was very difficult, obviously, and now you're up against another one of those teams that I think a lot of people are expecting to claim the second slot. So, you know, it's got to feel good. You should be able to ride that momentum. And, you know, and if you're Virtus.pro, you know, you're probably feeling a little shook, like, what the heck just happened? Like, we have to be more careful. But they are coming up with a very solid draft so far. Again, we talked about the lane domination with the Undying, having the Beastmaster. Dark Willow, too, is great for being able to get into good positioning. And the Morphling is a very powerful watery boy recently.
Yeah, he's good. It's funny how Morphling is a pretty good hero against Silencer, despite the fact that Silence would be annoying for Morph to deal with. But he always goes for that Manta and, you know, probably has a Manta and a BKB, so then he's going to be completely fine. And at that point, it's very hard to play Silencer into Morph. You would rather be some regular hero with just a basic stun at that point. But what concerns me for both these teams now, after the game that we just saw, I feel like either of them would have lost to Xtreme Gaming right there. And this is this is the TI last chance qualifier. You have to play at your A game. You have to bring out the absolute best that you have and prove that you are supposed to go into TI and compete at the biggest tournament of the year. And the previous game that we saw there, it looked too sloppy. Too many times where both teams were not really on the same page with each other. So game 2, we'll see if both teams can tighten up the play even more here.
Definitely want to go in there with a fresh attitude. Do see some different picks coming out this time around. You know, we talk about how much Eve likes to play these like strength heroes. You know, the CK, the big one, Troll, Agi, obviously, but is going to go for the Naga Siren this time, which will force them into, you know, being very considerate about dealing with all the illusions and how they want to deal with the way that this game is now going to be played. And I like it. I like the fact that Wildcard is also putting more heroes on the board that have that team fight potential and pickoff, but especially, you know, with the Primal Beast guy, that he looks so goofy. I'm sorry, he's so goofy looking. But paired up with the Snapfire, you know, just raining Hellfire down and the Naga Siren to kind of set up things is going to give them a nicer advantage, I feel.
It's good. They have stuff that they can play into each other. And also I want to mention that Naga against both Undying and Beastmaster is fantastic. It's very strong hero at dealing with both Undying and Beastmaster, because Naga doesn't struggle so much against physical damage dealers or the Tombstone zombies hitting her. She doesn't care at all. The summons from Beastmaster, you don't care. You can still end snare and kill any form of dominated creep as well quite quickly. So she's a smart pick into this, deals very well with Beastmaster in general. And even into Dark Willow, you could argue that being able to pop this song if Dark Willow tries to TP out at any point in Shadow Realm, you can stop her. So now they have something that pierces there. I like the draft coming out from Wildcard, while VP also have a well-rounded draft. and the Morphling is a hero that we see have a lot of success lately. So let's see what they're gonna pick as their 5th. I feel like they probably want something along the sides of I was gonna say along the sides of something like a puck for lockdown and magic damage, but they bring even more magic damage with Zeus. A good way to react when you see an illusion-based carry is Zeus. He does really well against TB, does really well against Naga.
10 seconds remaining.
A smart pick here coming out from VP.
I'm a little surprised they didn't go for something like a Leshrac, too. Like, Leshrac would give them more opportunity to be able to push, because Zeus, I feel like, has slid into more of the support hero.
Yeah, he was banned out in the second to last, though.
Oh, okay,
so they couldn't go for him.
See that. Did not see that. Yeah, that would have been also a good solution against Naga with all those illusions, tower push, whatnot. But yeah. So I'm curious now to see what the mid hero is going to be for Alone. They already banned out 2 of his big heroes, right? The Huskar and the Shadow Fiend. Is this something where do you feel confident in taking, you know, something that has high mobility, something like a Storm perhaps, just so that way, you know, you can close the gap on some of these heroes that are going to be playing it further in the back lines? Or
it could be good. I think Storm could be useful here. There are a few ways to catch him, but not fantastic ones, honestly. So Storm can work. I was thinking Void Spirit, but similar sense there that you have someone who is able to jump in, because Zeus can be a slippery hero, and he does so much magical damage if you don't have anything good to catch him. And right now you're only looking at like Primal Beast charging through, but Zeus can easily evade that with his Super Mario jump. So you might want something else that can also get in there. I like the idea of a Storm or a Void Spirit. Yep. Look at that. You called it.
I mean, that is one of Alone's, probably one of his best heroes. I was also curious to see if maybe they would take the puck for themselves, because that gives them very good skirmish potential, considering that a lot of these ultimates on the side of Wildcard have like high cooldowns. But I like the Storm. That's still, again, good for skirmishing. Man, Sam, he's getting into it. He's talking to someone over there. But yeah, I like this. It does give them the capability of, you know, doing that bit of poking, dodging back out again without having to commit super hard all the time. So yeah, I'm liking this draft.
Yeah, it's a good call. I feel I'm the same with you here. I think that Wildcard's draft looks it looks nice. It plays nicely together. It has some good ideas. They still have late game with Yvonne and Naga as well. VP also seem to have pretty much gotten what they want, so I'm not heavily favoring one draft or the other. I would probably favor Wildcard a little bit if I'm just looking at the draft. But we'll see if VP are gonna tighten up their play, because there were moments where they had weakness in how they executed last game, and I'm expecting them to have washed their face, to go into the next game here. It's time to reset.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if Wildcard is going to be able to ride this momentum with the victory that they just took off of the P.
I'm expecting them to have washed their face, to go into the next game here. It's time to reset.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if Wildcard is going to be able to ride this momentum with the victory that they just took off of the P. I can't talk. Sorry, it's like 4 a.m. here. My brain's starting to go a little. But I'm also curious to see, VP, they're an excellent team. They've got some world-class players. They're certainly hungry. They want that spot. So I'm curious to see, who's going to take this game number 2.
Yeah, this really, I don't think, no matter who wins or loses here, I don't think we can say that this game comes down to draft alone. It's going to be execution, and whichever team is going to play better is going to be the one to come out on top. Whereas, previous games we've seen today, we've seen a bit of outdrafts. We've seen the Broodmother in the previous series that we talked about. But here, I like this. Both teams have, gotten tools that they can work with to have a good game. Ramses, careful.
I love the all chat of I play just like old 11. I like the fact that there's a lot of camaraderie though between these teams. I think that's always fun, especially like when you get the chance to be on LAN or like be with each other. It really is a whole different dynamic that you get between the players, the talent, all that.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely goofing around a little bit with each other, and they're both, teams that are happy to do some tips and stuff when plays happen. It's good, and they're all in this spot, right, where they almost qualified to TI, and they got to this last chance qualifier, and now it's immense pressure on all of them. So being able to have some fun and camaraderie between each other is good.
All right, so which lane in particular do you think we should keep our eyes on?
Oh, sorry, I'm watching the Undying and his starting item build.
Is it there's 6 mangoes on that boy. No scurvy here for Undying.
He's got to stay fresh. Look at him with his 20 strength.
Yeah, he's been getting the double decays. Very powerful.
Undying against this lane is insanely good, by the way. You cannot stack up against him. He's got 28 strength stolen right now.
He's a big boy.
He's
Divine
actually
Llama.
pulling them.
I mean, you think of the fact that Divine Llama is playing the Primal Beast, who is such a very
500
strong
HP.
hero.
He has no HP.
Nope.
Yeah, good pull by Snapfire, but look at the Undying pulling immediately out the creeps to his side here. So instead of having to deal with going behind tower, he parks the creep wave out here, which Morphling can just run over to. It's a good read.
Well, that is the Wraithband recipe that gets sniped by Alex here on the courier, but they have made their own lane over on the side. Divine Llama, man, look at this. He is just totally being shut out by Hakoda.
Yeah, that's the issue of having 2 strength heroes against an Undying. None of them are able to deal with Undying, and he's just bullying. And of course, he's going to target the off laner and bully him over the pos 4. And Alex can't really put the same amount of pressure on the Morphling at all.
I mean, he's tried his best, but yeah, this is a very elegant solution to dealing with the pressure that a Primal Beast can put in lane.
But this is a first pick Undying. It was literally the first pick in the entire draft, so you have to have expected that Undying was going to be post 5 and protecting. And it was their choice to put the Snapfire together with the Primal Beast down here. I wonder if they have any regret and maybe would have wanted to have Snapfire top helping the Naga and just send the Silencer down here, because he could be much stronger against the Undying. As we look at the CS right now, the Morphling getting, of course, a ton of denies as the Primal Beast can barely touch the creeps. 14 and 9. Meanwhile, mid, we have 12 and 4. The Zeus getting pulled on the tower?
Yes, not looking too great here for GPK. Gets that little bit of that slow. A couple more clicks will be able to do it, but he's got to close the gap, and he's pretty fast here.
Yeah.
So Alone trying to make that that play and get ahead in the mid lane. Close, but not quite. As they get the kill on Divine Llama bottom.
Oh no, dying as well after getting this little CS. I mean, he only has 4 CS, and he dies while the creep wave is pushing back as well. The courier does die again, so Ramses, that Wraithband, we're still waiting. He's not got any Amazon Prime delivery here. This is gonna take some extra time.
I mean, that is the shred of hope, because you've got to feel good about this, though, right? Because Ramses was so badly bullied in game number 1. He died 4 times on his TA. He was just constantly getting run down by Divine Llama with the Broodmother. So it feels good to not have the same sort of performance happen this time around, but I'm sure Divine Llama is frustrated because of the fact that Hakoda has just been so incredibly useful here. In fact, all of his mangoes, no! That's 5 mangoes that he's not gonna have. And the bounty room gets denied. Alex is just a thorn in his side right now.
Alex is killing everything that is not a hero or a creep right now. That
needs to be careful. With that trample and Alex joining back in. Does have the cookie. If they could get the stun off.
Top lane?
Top lane.
Oh.
Is Yamish gonna die here? Oh, yeah. Last second.
He's just gonna heal up and be fine. Mid lane we see Storm trying to get some CS, getting zapped a bit. The lightning showdown on the mid lane. I like this. A very, very thematic lane. Battle of the Lightning Lords.
The God of Lightning should take precedence over the Spirit of Lightning?
We'll see, though. We'll see. I mean, he almost died to a spirit earlier.
That's true. That's true. What are the lore implications of this lane? Bottom lane, Dakota, they finally get that revenge kill that they've been looking for. But Alex now getting bullied by Ramses. These clicks, they hurt. So they chase down with that the tomb. They'll get the kill on Alex.
Yeah, another kill going to them in the bottom lane. Morphling still leading the way in the CS department as well, so him getting kills is a dangerous thing. And Dabai.
Oh, ooh, that was a little cheeky.
Yeah, the magic stick charges, I guess. He wasn't really worried. Still going very low.
Get that hole again, but GPK just gonna have. How do you feel about Heavenly Leap? I don't know. I've talked to a couple people about it, and they're like, "This was so not necessary for Zeus."
I, as someone who doesn't pick Zeus too often, I feel like it's unnecessary to give this man a survivability tool. Come on, like, his big weakness was that he could get caught out, but now I feel like Zeus just doesn't die the way he should. Look at him.
It feels like he should not be allowed. Oh, Thunder God's Wrath. That is a dead alone. Yamich collecting the kill now. Sam will be able to get his own kill on GPK. So I guess we still don't know who is the better of the Lightning Lords because that wasn't a fair, clean fight. He brought
That's
friends.
true.
They both brought friends.
Not an actual 1v1.
Yeah, that was a gang war right there.
Yeah. There was a bottom region rune scouted out, by the way, by the Snapfire. So Storm, when he respawns, gonna come back down here and take this region. And of course, region rune on Storm, very, very useful for either farming heavily or make some aggressive plays.
And it looks like aggressive play is what he wants to go for here because they do have the Snapfire nearby. Holding on to the cookie just in case, but not necessary.
He pulled him mid-jump. So
that was very cool.
It was cancelled. Yeah, that was really nice. Good timing.
That's the dream.
And that's dying with TP on cooldown for 50 seconds on Zeus, so he's not going to be able to get back to mid lane when he respawns. And that death was really painful for him.
My llama does finally get clicked down here on this bottom lane. It was like a flirtation between him and Ramses. Like, he would go forward, he would start stomping around using the trample, use the uproar, and they'd both get a little bit low, but not quite low enough. Yeah, Morphling did 1,003 damage to Primal Beast.
Yeah. Oh, takes some damage, but he's going to be fine. Alex tried to get a bit cheeky there, but he might get punished for it.
He is absolutely getting punished for it as the follow-up here from Divine Llama. Again, he does have that trample, but it just isn't quite enough to deal with this Morphling. And he's getting bigger and bigger now, which is pretty scary. He's got 22 denies as well.
Yeah, there's not much farm going their way. They only have 21 CS on bottom for the Primal Beast, and of course dying twice doesn't help. So, yeah, looking quite grim.
Well, I'm trying to make the play. Does get the drag back over onto Zeus Alex with Scatter Blast. They're not going to go for the dive, though. There's too many heroes over here.
I love the way that Undying is playing this game. He secured bottom lane really hard at the start for his Morphling, and then he recognized that Morph should probably be fine now, and he just leaves and starts having impact on mid, pressuring top a bit. Now, meanwhile, Ramses should be fine farming, but there's a gank coming for him now. Are they going to be able to get him?
That is the question. I feel like Sam might just die here if he's not careful. In fact, look at that. The amount of damage. They do have the silence on. Divine Llama running forward. But they're not going to go for that tower dive. It's a little too risky, especially with Sam sitting as low as he is.
That was 3 heroes showing up trying to kill the Morphling, and he ends up being completely fine. Meanwhile, top is being pushed by Beastmaster, having the Dominator and that aura. Tier 1 tower is going to fall.
Top tower is under attack.
Yeah, I'm just trying to keep tabs on Eve over here. But yeah, when you have something like a Beastmaster, you leave him alone in this lane, he is absolutely going to take your buildings.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the trade-off is that you're getting some good farm on your Naga in the jungle meanwhile, because she didn't want to stay up there since everybody is off the map. She was worried that she would get killed. So he's just going where he can find the most amount of farm. Naga is leading the way in the CS department right now, but Morphling with those kills as well is even ahead in net worth over that.
They sent a lot of heroes down to this bottom lane, but in the end, Ramsey's realizing, a lot of people are off the map, and they do have that observer ward off to the side for the Radiant, so just teleports out, doesn't want to have to deal with it. And the pressure is being placed over on the mid lane while this is going on, which is a more valuable tower, in my opinion.
Yeah, this is a very smooth rotation from top as well for DM on his Beastmaster. He just took a tower, comes mid, and they now have 4 heroes staring down this tower. Are Wildcard going to be able to defend this? They have an Arcane Rune Storm, so he's ready to fight. Question if his team is able to, though.
The rest of the team have to get there, and that's the scary thing right now, is that alone, again, literally, just all alone by himself.
Role-playing.
He can't go into this. It's a little bit too dangerous.
Yeah.
So I guess they're just going to let it fall.
Yeah, that's going to be 2 tier 1 towers going down without contesting. They do get a trade. This time they get a tier 1 tower bottom, but it's not looking great for Wildcard right now, just playing a little bit slower than VP.
Surprised that they haven't seen this arcane in the bottom area. They do have an observer ward over on the Radiant, so they can see it's there. I'm sure Zeus would love that. Go for a bit of a scan, though, realizing there are people hiding in the tree line. Alone, there's the Terrorize into the brambles, but they have the cookie in position, so Alone will survive the gank.
Yeah, looks
all
like
proud.
the Arcane Rune smoke up here together with Snapfire having ulti ready. Anyone Storm grabs could get bursted very quickly. I think if Zeus shows himself at all, he's gonna get zipped on.
Oh yeah, he is definitely making his way over here.
They saw him.
There's a zip forward. I'm gonna give the chase, and again, they have the Snapfire kisses, so there's a draw back. This should be a dead GPK, and indeed it is.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Zip forward. Oh, they found Yamich here, but they do have the Cursed Crown over on Alone. The quick out forward will be able to land. The back off the DM running forward. He's got the roar available if they want to go in, but there it is. There's the Global Silence. Divine Llama getting held into place, though. Not going to be able to go and get his hands on him. Won't have that lockdown. As Sam very far forward here on the low ground is going to take too much damage. Ends up falling. It's a nice regen room picked up for Alone, but is it going to be his downfall here? As he does manage to zip away at the last second. Thunder God's Wrath coming through. Alex cookie hopping forward. Oh, this is not looking good for those axes from downtown. Coming out as Divine Llama continues. Picks up, pulverizes DM. Does manage to get the kill. They'll be able to pick off Dakota. And now they would love to get themselves GPK, but I don't know if they're going to be able to do it, especially not with Yamich nearby, not with that Shadow Realm damage coming out. As they'll use the Cursed Crown Alone, he wants to zip up. He will manage to get to the high ground. They don't have the vision just yet, but he's sitting so very low. Tries to spell he can't do it just enough. Oh, dear. GPK, though, sitting a little low. They needed a little bit more damage, and Sam is here. He would love to get this, but this is looking like he's going to die instead. Very well played here, coming out from the side of GPK.
He's just trying to attack the Zeus stun, but he doesn't have the damage to kill him. He doesn't have any points in the glaives at all. So he's just standing there auto-attacking with no spells. Oh, that turned out so tragic there for Wildcard.
That is a feels bad.
Yeah, Storm also just doing everything in his power, trying to get away. The only good news that they have in the midst of all this is that Naga is still keeping that beautiful 0 kills, 0 deaths, 0 assist score, looking like a real carry should. She's hitting those jungle creeps. But yeah, VP are a little bit more playing with higher tempo right now and making more things happen. Whereas Wildcard, they did get a good kill to start off there earlier with the Storm and the Snapfire, but after that combo, they just didn't connect anything.
They do smoke up, though, on the side of Wildcard, looking for a pick-off. They see Yamish, so they see that Divine Llama runs in. They'll throw down the Snapfire kisses, hoping that they can put enough damage over onto the Shadow Realm, but it's proving to not quite be enough, especially with Dakota there being able to throw the Soul Rip and keep them alive. So they'll take down the Tomb.
I feel like Divine was just a little bit scared there. He, of course, saw immediately the Undying there and was worried about committing.
Oh, that is a nice pick-off. My goodness.
Oh, boy. Morphling gets caught out on 740 max HP. Yeah, that's a great kill over on the side of Alone, getting that solo kill out. That was a huge kill. He's at 8,000 net worth on Morphling. 700 gold for that kill.
Couple pings coming out. Oh, more smoke coming out from Wildcard. They know that GPK is here bottom. He does have a TP scroll, though. So,
Scanning.
go for
the scam.
They know the zip forward from Alone immediately. The hop forward, the follow up with the scatter blast. It's too late. They can't get there in time as Alone just taunts his way out, gets a little snack from Grandma, and heads back to rejoin the team.
I love
Sam
this by
is-
Wildcard. This feels different from how they played in the previous games that we watched. It feels like Alone is making, you know, a lot of moves on the map here, playing on a Storm Spirit, which is what you expect from a Storm, but they're really playing around it in a good way as well, with the Snapfire always prepared. Alex and Alone are combining their heroes really well now.
I mean, again, this is probably one of Alone's best heroes. I was telling you earlier, you know, I've been watching this kid since he was like, I think he was like 15 or 16, and already he was just playing an outrageous Storm. He was making some mistakes because, you know, when you're that young, you know, you don't always hit your BKB button. But
True.
but he was making some really nice plays. Some of the decisions were a little interesting, but yeah, I'd expect to see this kind of performance from him on this particular hero. And again, Alex is a fantastic Snapfire. Has been
the
playing
steal,
for a while.
maybe?
Nice
Maybe?
song coming in. There it is. There's the Aegis getting snapped up by Divine Llama. A nice terrorize will force many of them back. And go for the roar play. They'll get the kill on Alone. He's down for 45. Divine Llama. Again, he's got himself the Aegis, so Snapfire Kisses do a little bit of damage. I'm still thinking that he's dead here, despite his best interests, but they do manage to secure that Roche away from Virtus.pro. And now Alex does have a 4-step, does have a cookie. He's going to try to break some ankles, try to just juke around the side. A very nice play, though, coming out here from Wildcard just to interrupt the Roche. They do end up paying for it pretty badly. It looks like they might end up losing Alex. Nah, he's
Yeah,
gonna
that
be
was
all right.
a beautiful steal, but at the same time, there was also a great terrorize coming out from Yamich on his Dark Willow. That terrorize caught everyone in a great way, allowed the Primal Beast or Primal Roar to come out. Sorry, we have a confusing Beastmaster, Primal Roars.
There's a lot of
Primal
roaring
Beasts.
going on.
Yeah, but the roar goes down and they get the kill on Storm. I think that was a very important pickoff. So VP, they may not have gone the Aegis, but I think they're still going to be very happy with this. This is a fantastic outcome. Look at the Dark Willow here afterwards. There's the terrorize. Even a Tombstone survives.
I mean, anytime that you can get a kill over on the mid laner is absolutely worth it here. Divine Llama is taking a lot of harass, is just going to eat that Curse Crown to the head. But Alex nearby to provide any sort of support needed. Yeah, Sam's looking very focused right now. It's weird to call him Sam. I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. He's always been Sammy Boy.
Yeah, right? Changing names.
I guess Sammy, you can leave off the boy.
Radiant are
I don't know, it feels like everybody on that team is rushing to, like, be recognized as a man, you know? Sammy Boy's like, not a boy anymore. Alone's like, I'm 18 now. I'm not a little boy anymore.
They're growing up. Time to get a Mercedes.
When are we gonna see all the facial hair start, though? You know, that feels like that's the next step of when you're like, I'm a man now.
Oh, Morphling looking for a solo kill. Gets the silencer.
Indeed, it gets it.
He does reveal that they have vision in that area, but you'll take it for a solo pickoff like that.
Scanning. Radiant's bottom tower.
Pinging out the ward, but not the correct pings. It's on the other side. Good word by Radiant there.
They do look like they want to continue to put the pressure here on the top tower. They've got themselves the Ancient Black Dragon. We'll see Divine Llama charging in with his face. Doesn't have the BKB just yet, but Alex always playing pretty closely behind. Get a pretty big silent off. So they'll start playing around with that terrorize. They ping that they know people are up here. They do manage to find the Hawk. Alex, though, having to be a little careful. We'll get the Scatter Blast off. And there's going to be the jump in on Alone. Global Silence does get used, so they're going to try to just remove this Undying right away. And they'll be able to find it. Divine Llama charging forward. 4-step forward here from Alex. Tropsy's got the BKB, but they get the roar off, and he's getting chunked down here. It's looking a little bit scary. It does look like he should be able to make it out. And while this is going on, Do have the Naga just pushing the tier 2. She's got Song available if they try to go for it. And in fact, they cancel out the TP, so I'm curious to see if Eve will stick around as while this is going on. They see Ramses. They need to put some more damage down, and even with this BKB alone, he's struggling a little bit. So he is going to end up teleporting out. Alex, though, is left behind. This Bedlam doing so much damage. They'll go for the Thunder God's Wrath on top of it. They'll be able to get themselves 2 on the side of Wildcard. Losing Alex, losing Devi. Sam looks like he's going to be the next one to fall here, as he just gets nuked down by GPK.
And that's 3 dead on the side of Wildcard, but that's... Perhaps you can spin it to be good news for Wildcard, because this lowers the chance of Naga ruining her KDA. She still has that 0-0-0 going on.
Hey, GPK.
Oh no, it's gonna...
Hello.
Oh, it's all over now. He got his
And
first kill.
tips.
Radiant
Well,
Where's
Naga has
the,
entered the game. She's like, oh, there are more people in this game, not just me.
middle tower.
This is when you need the Brazilian line, the Song of the Mermaid, with the singing.
Yeah.
Blown away.
All right, well.
Actually, it looked for a while like he was just in a custom lobby practicing last hit and farming patterns, you know. But he's now entered the fray and recognized that he can kill people. But Wildcard, I think they're feeling pretty good despite a lot of the fights going poorly. This Naga is turning absolutely huge, and Naga versus Morphling. Morph is powerful, but Naga's lockdown in the mid and late game, using that end snare and the Orchid that he has as well. It's gonna be difficult for Morphling to not get caught out at some point and possibly go down.
All right, Waga, let's call it as it is. When GPK walked into Naga, that was definitely a situation of a cat that fell asleep with his paw out and the mouse just kind of walked into it. That wasn't really
That's very true.
Naga joining the fight. That was like, oh, what's this? I'll happily take that.
Yeah, he would just walk down the ramp and found that there's a free kill waiting for him.
Feels good when you're a core. Always feels bad when you're like a support and you just happen to wander in. But do you feel like, Ramsey should have picked up something that was more defensive besides the Manta style?
I think it's the correct play to go for the Aghanims here, because Aghanims is very, very useful for Morphling. It's hard to overstate how powerful it is and how much it messes with people when you just use it on them. But I think he needs to go back for a BKB afterwards, is what I believe. Or possibly a Lincoln's. It would be an okay choice as well, but he needs more defensive tools later.
Oh no, I kind of like the idea of that BKB just to deal with the Song of the Siren. As smoke does break, they're going to set up and get ready to do as much damage as they can to Divine Llama. But again, he is the tankier person on the team, so he's going to be able to walk away.
Yeah, for now, I think Wildcard, they can stop playing exclusively around the Storm and start thinking about how they can use the Naga Siren as well and make moves where they enable her, and the fact that she's starting to get high levels in Ensnare now. Because her kill potential is very good as well.
Some movement towards the top. They're looking to put pressure as they zip forward from alone. They have the Yules available over on the Dark Willow, so we'll be protected for the time being. But do you see Eve making his way towards this top area, playing in the tree line?
Yeah, and Eve is going for Eye of Skadi on Naga. Gonna be really fantastic to prevent some of the healing coming out from both Undying, but also from the Morph ability, of course. So once he has that full Skadi, also giving a ton of stats, making the illusions really, really tanky. Quite important when you're playing as the Zeus. Try and get the illusions to not die to just 2 or 3 nukes.
I like watching all the drawing all over the map.
Yeah, it's just, we control this area, we go here, join here, make a smoke from this area. A lot of movement in this game.
I enjoy it. It's always a bummer when people are just static the entire time. Do you have the Arcane Wind picked up though on Storm? He's working towards his own Aghanims. And it just feels like Wildcard, they realize, they're feeling a bit strong right now, so they're grouped up together. You can see that Naga usually pretty close by now. Has finished up the Scotty. Be interested to see if they're going to try to make something happen here.
Yeah, it feels like the map is actually shrinking quite a bit for VP right now, despite them having Beastmaster for that vision advantage and Zeus to D-ward with as well. They're struggling to control a bigger area. We have pillow issues? What?
Maybe someone plays with a pillow behind their back,
Yeah.
or
Neck pillow. It's the Sumail strats. Yeah.
last what was it? The Stockholm Major. So I'm very short, which I know you already know. But they were trying to frame Purge and I in the shot. And they're like, Moxie, we need you to put your chair up all the way. And I'm like, it is all the way. I'm sorry. I was sitting up as tall as I can, so they ended up having to give me like 3 pillows.
I mean,
'Cause
I
was
feel
too
short next to Purge as well. I normally don't have to feel short, but there's a lot of tall people in the Dota scene.
They really
Like-
are. I think
I don't know what's up with
the short, I think I'm the smallest, and after me is Fogged. And then I think it's Robson.
Yeah, it might be true. Yeah. And then it's just a bunch of giants.
I know. What do we feed our Dota players? Why are they so tall?
Oh, look at Wildcard taking over the top lane here. They know that Roche is gonna spawn soon, so I really like the move they're doing to control this area. Because if Roche spawns at any moment now, they're gonna be the ones to kill it, and they kill it pretty fast too. So VP, they're struggling to keep any form of control here, and they're scared to push too far bottom with Morphling, so he's already heading back. Ideally, he would be pushing that tier 1 tower harder, but he knows he can get caught out by either Naga or the Storm, and even with the global silence as well. So VP feel like they're in a lot of trouble right now.
And they're
And
having some
Wildcard-
difficulty dealing with these Naga illusions as they continuously push out the top area. But Roche is up. It's go time.
Dire's bottom
Yeah.
tower has fallen.
And there is no BKB on Ramses just yet, so only person who possibly has a chance here is the Beastmaster if Eves decides he wants to do the Song of the Siren. As they do poke up top looking for GPK.
Oh my god, he just
Quite
slips
funny,
out.
goes the other way. Yeah, I know. This guy's a player.
Wow, that Blink Dagger and the jump, he put them to good use to manage to get himself out of that catch. Just barely survives. Meanwhile, bottom tower was removed and the Morphling is pushing.
He's so close to this BKB.
Man, Wildcard, you're doing really good now, but I think now they're almost a little bit intimidated by like, can we, can't we kind of situation. And they have to make a decision, go for a gank or push or take Roche, but they're just sitting around now.
Yeah, I felt like they've had a lot of hesitation recently in the last like couple games that we've seen. You know, some of it again could be nerves. Eve, of
Now
course, you know.
Yeah, now it's a good read though, because VP are smoking. They don't see anyone on the side lanes, so playing close to each other is smart.
Under attack.
See if VP can go and drop any form of high ground vision.
I see the courier there. And somebody did give it a click, so they're aware. They're aware of what's going on. The opening, though, over onto Alex. Song of the Siren comes out from Eve. But they're separated pretty far as GPK over the back lines. They see alone. Sapphire Kiss is coming out long range as Yamich left in the pit. He's going to fall. So is Alex. And they'll end up losing GPK. Divine Llama holding on tight here. 2 reps, but he has his own BKB. He just picked it up. It's fresh. He's chasing after Divine Llama, and he's just not going to be able to get hit here as they can't seem to close this gap. Did get multiple buybacks, though, coming out from Virtus.pro. Sam ends up falling. He is going to buy back as Ramses waveform to the low ground. They're in control. They see the opening, though, over onto DM. He's already used the roar. They need a little bit more damage, though, and Alone has to be careful. He doesn't overstay his welcome. Eve still nearby. The Terrorize not going to be able. No, they go. They cancel it out. Thundergod's Wrath comes through. They'll get the kill. Eve getting the cookie forward from Alex, trying to protect him. It does end up getting the Cursed Crown being placed upon him. It's not looking good for Sam. He just bought back. He can't afford to go down here yet again, but it is going to be his fate. As they go, they throw the net out over onto GPK. Ramses turned himself
Eve,
into
he's
his
cold.
own thing. And this is not looking good for Eve. The cookie hop forward. The force down coming up from Alex. The cookie. It's enough.
Oh
They
my
put him up
God.
over to the high ground, but the waveform forward. Ramses gets the kill. They're going full Davai over here on Davai Llama as they'll chase after this primal beast. Turn their attention to Alex. They know that he also bought back. What a fight coming out from the side of Virtus.pro.
Oh my. Yeah, definitely. That fight started pretty bad for them, actually, with a nice play from Wildcard going in with the song to kill off the Tombstone during the song, also setting up that they could insta-kill the Dark Willow with the Orchid spam after the song ended. But somehow, with the buybacks coming out, VP managed to reposition, get themselves in a good spot to take the fights, and... Oh, Storm?
Oh,
Attempting
alone.
something?
He's being cheeky. He's hoping that somebody was low enough, or perhaps he could get the snipe on Roche, but not low enough just yet. Uh-oh. Oh, dear. Divine Llama was hoping he could get in there, but they'll end up using the Roar, and that is on the BKB, and the clicks are there, so that is a very dead Primal Beast. And an Aegis picked up for Ramses.
Well, things worked out in the favor of VP in the end there. And again, I want to give a lot of credit to this Dark Willow player. Yamich is landing some fantastic Bramble Mazes. Also, his Terrorize was on point once again there. He did get caught out by Naga Song initially, but after he came back, he put in some good work in that fight. And of course, now Ramses, he's 10, 1, and 4 on this Morphling with Aegis, with Manta, with BKB, and Aghanims. He's got all the tools that he needs to control this game. And from here on, Wildcard might be in a little bit of trouble.
I'd say it's looking pretty scary for Wildcard with looking at the Storm. And it just feels like this Naga is continuously being kited, which is another issue because Ramses, again, he's got the capability of being able to waveform. He's got the mobility, and the Naga just can't seem to follow him as closely as I think she'd like.
Yeah, the issue was that she didn't try to kill off any core immediately in that fight. She like went for the pick off on the Dark Willow, but people just used the buyback and got back into the fight. But yeah, I think now you're starting to feel how there's a lack of control over on the Morphling since he has this BKB as well as the Manta style. Your disables are not quite good enough to hold him in place. The Silence, the Orchid, these things can be mitigated at this point.
I mean, you say that, but Alone did just pick up an Aghanim Scepter, so there's going to be a little bit more lockdown this time around. Hopefully that is enough to make a difference, but it is proving very difficult, you know. Again, Yamich's positioning has just been absolutely superb. We've seen some very good terrorizes, and the way that he kind of like pump fakes it too, it makes them reconsider, like, do we go in right now? Do we want to commit to this? Like, you can feel that uncertainty coming out from Wildcards. They do go for the God's Wrath. And again, Yamich is going to back off here, wait patiently.
Yeah, and Undying having Lotus Orb, he can just get himself out. Of course, he can dispel the ensnare.
And there's a smoke play, and they're chasing after GPK. There it is. There's the Song of the Silence. They do have the Lotus. But Yamich, look at this positioning again. Beautifully done. Will be able to keep GPK nice and safe as they go for the Global Silence. It chases on after Eve. They see Alex over here. Not quite too interested as Divine Llama does go rushing in, has his own BKB if he wants to use it. There it is. There's a 3-man vortex from Alone, just dragging them away, trying to buy them a little bit more time, but the BKB does indeed get popped on Divine Llama. He is just trying to stay alive, and it's not looking like this is going to be the chance, as he does end up getting thrown with the ensnare from Ramses, and then eventually just popped by DM.
Yeah, for a little while there, Divine Llama, he was, you know, thinking, oh, that's a nice 3-man grab by Storm. I can go in and trample on that. And then, no, I cannot. I have to keep running. But he is going to get caught in the end. And VP are... Yeah. VP are
just leaving it there. Why won't they pick up the bounty rune?
Which bounty? Where?
Over by the secret shop. There's just, I think someone dug it up.
Oh, right. They shoveled it up. I guess they forgot about it. It's behind a tree.
Free bounty rune, guys.
It's hidden. It's hiding behind that one tree.
Man, kids today, they just don't appreciate the bounty rune. The free money.
They're leaving it. They're letting it ferment. It's going to be worth more gold soon.
I don't know. Have you seen the state of the economy? I don't think that's true.
Not true. Might as well just cash in.
Yeah, I'd say so. All right. Well, Wildcard now effectively pinned in the base. This feels kind of bad for them because they definitely had moments earlier where they were feeling pretty dominant, but it's just becoming very, very difficult. Again, Ramsey's with that, the Aegis. He's got himself his own Scotty.
Yeah, I think when the Aegis times out, though, they should feel confident enough to go out and try to make more plays. Right now, it's difficult. Oh, BKB.
Cookie from Alex, still holding on to that Force Staff if needed to. Turn back around, throw out the Scatter Blast. But again, Wildcard, they're just going to retreat. They're going to go back into the base. And the Blink Dagger has been picked up for Primal Beast. I feel like it's not an issue of him initiating. Do you like the Blink Dagger?
I think it's fair to him to go for it here. I think he could have gone for like Assange as well and go for Assange Kaya earlier. It is what he's queuing up now as the next item. I don't think you can go wrong really with Blink. Oh, they're
Not the
going on
real
illusion.
GPK.
Yeah.
Ramses turns himself into his own Naga. Just tossing nets back and forth here. Oh, there it is, Thundergod's Wrath, though, giving them the vision. Alone, zipping all the way back into the base. They already lost Sam, though. No buyback on the Silencer.
Yeah, that's a lot of Morphling and Naga pushing in here.
How do you force them out? Nice Vortex here coming out from Alone, but there's only so much they can do. They get a little bit of a toss. Just Naga versus Naga. They do manage to drop the tombstone, so they're going to go cut through. And yeah, I don't know what's going on here, Alone. I don't know why you did that.
They managed to catch him. Oh boy. He failed his timing on the TP out after he zipped. If you do it perfectly, then you cannot actually get caught like that. But he failed it a little bit, and they managed to catch him.
That feels bad. And the Roar plus the Terrorize. They put the damage down over onto the Primal Beast. He does not have buyback either. So I am feeling like this is definitely going to be a tower Rax. Maybe a little bit more too.
Yeah, I mean, still half a minute here. That's plenty of time for this Morphling. He's so farmed, he could easily take mid lane during this and probably even go top.
He's got a Satanic online too. Like, I don't know how you kill this guy at this point with the heroes that you have coming out from the side of Wildcard.
Yeah, I don't think you can start with a Morphling. You have to kill something else, but everyone else is just sitting very safely behind him. Nobody's even showing inside the base, only Morphling.
Going for a little bit of a dive here. Do manage to get the Terrorize. He's turning himself into his own Naga yet again because he does axes. The dive forward. Did he go a bit too far though? There it is. The global silence. Divine Llama is here. He's gonna try pick him. He doesn't manage to pick up the right one though. Oh no, the Nimbus gets dropped. They're running into the back line. Eve has been left alone. Thunder God's Wrath won't be able to get that kill. They end up losing multiples. Wildcard, they are buying back. They don't want to let them have this game as the zip forward from Alone. Looking to see if he can get the jump onto GBK, but they do have the Yules again. He's gonna have to go pop his own BKB, but he's separated from the rest of the team right now. Song of the Siren comes out from Eve. Can they get in a good position here? Alex does not have the Snapfire Kisses. Turn their attention over to the Dark Willow. The Ramsey's getting dragged back. They do have the Lotus. They have the BKB over onto Ramsey now as Eve is trying to man fight. If they lose Eve here, this could be very much the end of the game, and it's looked like they're gonna be able to find the opening. There it is. The GG gets called. Virtus.pro bouncing back in very nice fashion to take game number 2 and even the series out 1-1.
Yeah, 1-1 gonna be the result. VP, they played really well around this Morphling. Once they started going with the Aghanims, the BKB, and the Manta, all these crucial items together, the Morphling could just, you know, feel like he's unkillable in these fights, even though you have such a big farm on your Naga. I think this game goes back all the way to the laning stage. Morphling was completely free farming. This Undying had 2 big impacts, shutting